Alright, in the previous video I fucked up the capital Pi notation. I did something dumb like this, when I should have done something more like this, and then I tried redoing it, and then I fucked up because I did something like this, when actually, no, actually, this is how you get that, because now there's two of them. I have two indices, 1 and 2, but the reason I was thinking that, god damn it, so my own understanding of what the hell is happening here is actually making it impossible for me to express how capital Pi notation is fucked up, because it's so completely fucked up that my brain is just refusing to accept how fucked up it is. Alright, so here we are. If we have capital Pi notation is doing iterated multiplication, allegedly, and exponents are doing iterated multiplication, allegedly, these should work, right? We should be able to get correlations between them. Okay, now, watch. So, properly, this is what should be happening here, okay? Numerically, that's okay with this so far, right? P sub I is 0 or 1. See, I'm still fucking it up. I'm having to, like, look at it because, god damn it. Okay, now, there's a problem here. There's a real big problem here. As long as your exponents are integers greater than 0, this appears to be okay. And your index with capital Pi notation always starts at 1, right? That appears to be okay. So, you know, like whatever this guy is, let's say it's your exponent is k, and we're going to k, where k is an integer greater than 0. Now I think that works. I think the mindfuck that I have been subjected to works now. I mean, I have to get rid of this part. But I just kind of borrowed that from above. So now that should work. And at this stage, fans of bijection are going to say, yeah, that works. The problem is, what happens when k is a fraction? What happens when k is 0? What happens when k is negative? What happens when k is a complex number? Now you're fucked, because there's absolutely no correlation to capital Pi notation whatsoever. You can't get capital Pi notation to yield 1 with an index of 0, right? Right? So if k were 0, right? So n to the 0, that gives us 1, because in order to start the exponentiation, we have to go back to the beginning, because that's what it is. It's iterated multiplication, which is iterated addition, which is iterated incrementation, right? Which is iterated recognitions of existence. Recognition of existence is where you start, okay? Existence is contrasted with non-existence. 1 is contrasted with 0. 1 is existence, 0 is non-existence. In order for exponentiation to be iterated multiplication, and in order for multiplication to be iterated addition, and in order for addition to be iterated incrementation, and for incrementation to be iterated recognition of existence, this has to be true. We have to start here. There is no, it's not negotiable. There's no option. It has to be true. And anything to the 0 being 1 and 1 occurring in the numerator when you have a negative exponent is now explained, and why 1 is always the reference frame that we're using to calculate the angle of complex exponents is also now explained. 1 is always your reference point, because that's where you fucking start. Because this bare 1, it's not positive 1, this bare 1 indicates existence. Okay? Now, you cannot get capital Pi notation to give us this, right? If I take this, and just modify it into the form that should do this, if we had a valid bijection here, it's not going to work. It's not going to fucking work. It doesn't matter what this is. This can be anything. Alright, it can be negative 13. Doesn't matter. Doesn't change the value of it. Right? This can be literally fucking anything. Capital Pi notation cannot be mapped to exponentiation via bijection, and yet capital Pi notation is allegedly iterated multiplication. And exponents are allegedly iterated multiplication. One of them is validly iterated multiplication. The other one is bullshit. And you can tell because when you attempt to do bijection, you get a fucking paradox. Which means bijection doesn't work the way you think it does. And iterating operations doesn't work the way you think it does. And we already know exponents don't work the way you think they do. And yeah, we got all kinds of problems here with people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, trying to tell other people what's up.